Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Otakuology podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike. With me, as always, is Jen. He might be discombobulated and not have a body at the moment. Today,
I totally thought you were going to say something about the dwarf.
we are talking about Dork issues 3 and 4 for this episode of the podcast. And man, I have been chomping at the bit to talk about this series again. I would say.
Yeah,
Like, I kind of want to go monthly and talk about it instead of waiting 2 fucking months to talk about it.
this is true. Yeah, no, like I got home from work today and sat down and like just I read over it and I was like, this is the like breath of fresh air that I needed.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Whenever I read it, I feel like I enjoy it more and more each time.
Yeah,
Like I read both these issues twice this week, and I've picked up on little things here and there about like what's going on and stuff in
yeah,
this
yeah.
series. But yeah, um, I don't know if people are still enjoying this series or not, or like I haven't heard anybody talk about it or any hype about it after issue 1.
So you're thinking that it may be dying off a little bit.
Maybe, but I hope not. Like I hope it's not dying off, or maybe I'm just not in the right section of the internet.
I don't know. I mean, the other thing I would assume is if you went to go to the store and they were like, "Hey, we're sold out" or something
Yeah,
like that, that may be a really good sign of that as well.
maybe.
Uh, I don't really buy comics, so I don't 100% know that.
Yeah, no, I just don't. I
but
don't hear a lot of people talking about it online.
but I mean, reading three, like you had kind of spoiled a little bit of stuff for me with three, and so I read three, and I already knew I was going to kind of enjoy that one. And then I read four, and I'd been seeing the cover for four on like issues one and two, like in the books at the
Yeah,
like the very back.
yeah.
And so that was one of the ones I was really like chomping at the bit. And when I got it, it did not displease me at
It
all.
didn't.
I
It didn't
was
disappoint you.
no, it was great. It was great. I mean, I will say I feel like three a little bit is the one that's not as strong as the other three of them.
Uh huh.
But saying that in comparison to four issues that are super strong anyway, like they're not. If I was going to say one of them was like a 9.1 or a 9.9 and another one was a 9.9, maybe one of them was a 9.8, this issue would probably be like a 9.7.
Yeah.
Like they're all pretty tight up there at the top. It's just there was a little more in this, I think, because they did focus more so on glowing spear
Yeah.
that uh I really feel like it was the ending. So we'll have to get into it too.
Which let's get right into it. Like I feel like this issue took a big gamble of being totally focused on glowing spear, the
Yeah.
dwarf from the light side that we only briefly met in the last issue.
Yes. Yes.
Which I have to say he's kind of an asshole.
He
For
is.
a good guy, he's an asshole.
He most deaf. Like one thing that really made him a character I think that I hated, which again, we love to hate characters, I would say. Everybody loves Darth Vader, even though they want to hate him at the same time. Um was where Dork would go around and do good things, and somehow Glowing Spear knew what good things he was doing and would go like fuck it up.
Yeah.
The best comparison, without really getting into anything specific to the issue, um, is imagine some guy that you imagine a villain giving a kid an ice cream cone, and then the guy who's supposed to be a good guy runs up and knocks it out of his hand because you can't accept that. That's from the enemy. Um, best situation I feel like of or best explanation of that. But it was something that I think made Gloinspear a good enemy for Dork.
I don't want to spoil the ending of this issue just yet as we're talking about it,
Yeah.
but I hope Gloin Spear comes back.
Oh, I don't know.
I know, it's kind of
I
up in the
would
air.
I would imagine so, just because like you said, we did only see him last issue.
Yeah.
That's when the story basically got started. Like they sent him out. We saw him at the end of last issue. They sent him out at the begin or at the very end of issue 1. Um, yeah, for it to be the third issue and Gloinspear have stuff happen to him, I don't want to say yes. I do feel like he'll come back with like maybe a disheveled face, because we did see him go out of the picture. Not
We didn't see a body.
We didn't see him die on screen,
Yeah.
basically.
But let's get into this. We have our point of view changed from Dork to Gloinspear, and Gloinspear is basically hunting after the abomination that is known as Dork, because he is sent by the light side to do so, and he is going from one end of the country to the other end of the country, it seems like. Only on the light side, not on the dark side, just on the light side.
Yeah, he went to like the cusp. I think he went right on the other side of the scar. That was it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things that he does is he says, like, I went to the Angel Tier Lake, but then I crossed over the scar and went to the Catacombs of Darkness. And you're like, there's a lot of back and forth. And you can tell in his words, like how he presents some of the light side stuff, it does sound more majestic. And then it almost sounds like he's shitting on the dark side
I
stuff.
feel like he very much has bought into the light side propaganda.
I think so too.
Like he's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Or he's one of the characters that makes the Kool-Aid.
Maybe.
I mean, I feel like he is that character. Which we do find out some cool stuff in this. We find out that he is the last, or he's the only survivor of the Scar War, or whatever that war was called, that left the scar in the land.
Yeah. Was he the only survivor on the light side?
He said he was the only survivor, period.
Okay.
So I don't know if there will be more for that. Maybe that will be a turning point that we will find out later, is that there was another character maybe that survived on the dark side, because I could see Gloinspear assuming that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, I was the only survivor because the light side rocks and the dark side sucks. I mean,
yeah, but he's like having trouble like tracking Dork and his companions, because he's like, this guy makes no sense. Like, he seems to be helping everybody no matter what allegiance they're with. He seems to be running around the forest with his head cut off, like this and that. And we see little pictures of Dork like helping a spider fix its web, like helping a satyr out. I think the satyr was like giving the satyr like a horn or something, right?
Yeah.
And we see in between it, Gloinspear like crushes the spider and beats up the satyr.
Yes. With the horn.
With the horn, yeah. With the horn.
Yeah. And I would say it's very much one of those stories where like Dork sees everything in a gray hue, and how do you just make the world better in general? And Gloinspear is like, no, there has to be a light side, there has to be a dark side, and everything that he's doing needs to just stay the way that it is.
Yeah.
Like the world doesn't need to be fixed. So he's got this weird mentality for supposedly being a warrior of light, so to speak.
Yeah, it's interesting to see his outlook on the whole situation, because he's like, Dork must die at any means necessary to like help the light in any way possible.
Yeah, and it's really weird from knowing like when him and the Golem character, I can't remember her name, got sent out.
Olivia, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. When she got sent out, when both of them got sent out at the very end of issue 1, you know, this is the character though I thought would have more like compassion and have more tie to Dork, because like you and I were joking about, is Dork is a half dork, half orc.
Yeah.
And I was assuming that maybe, especially him being on the lighter side, would be the one that would have a little more compassion for Dork. You know, even though he had to go kill him and whatnot, it would be more of a, hey, I need to kill you, you know, like, let's do this honorably, let's fight, let's do stuff like that, you know. And that maybe he would be a character that would try and figure out a way for Dork to still survive, especially because of Dork's dwarven half.
Yeah, he's not a very honorable person, like you said.
Yeah, Gloin Spears,
Yeah.
like, getting into this issue, Gloin Spears like the complete fucking opposite. Like,
Yeah.
when I say Gloin Spear is the one of the enemies you love to hate, like, I love he's an enemy of Dork. I don't like Gloin Spear though. Like, he's a cool character to be an enemy, but just how his actions are, I don't like him.
Like, they play off well with each other, I feel like.
Yes.
Especially
And
in this issue.
in this one, I think we do have a little bit of a ruse situation, because Dork is dressed up as like a.
Whoa. Are we gonna spoil it? Or are we gonna wait?
Wait for what?
Oh, I didn't know if we wanted to wait till the end where it gets revealed of what Dork is.
Oh, I mean, this gets. I would go ahead and say it, because I mean,
Okay.
if you're reading the comic, when you first see this white mage person, you can't really tell, but then when they start digging through the bag, you see the hand, and you're like, that's gotta be Dork. It's not.
I didn't pick up on this reveal when I first read it.
Until he got attacked?
Until he got attacked.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, I didn't notice it. Like, I thought it was actually like a white mage, but it's technically Dork in disguise. Pretending.
No, so let me tell you my train of thought.
Okay.
I was looking at this and I was like, why does this person look like they have the same colored skin as Dork? Like, and like, after like issue 1, you kind of see what characters on which side, you know. And I'm like, I don't remember anybody being green on the other side, on the light side.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember
he only
this.
like his fingers, I think, right?
Yeah, well, fingers and I think his shoes at one point. But I was like, does this person have like some kind of ailment? Are they some kind of sick? Like, what do they have? And when they kind of like got out farther past the fingers, where you got to see the little brown like wristband, I was like, oh, that's got to be Dork. Yeah, no, that's got to be Dork.
When I first read this, I didn't pick up on that. I was like, oh, cool, we're getting a new character. We're getting this white mage who's like he's a seller of goods, you know. He's like a traveling salesman, and Dork puts on a really good show, I feel like, at this point. You know, yes. Trying to get him to buy stuff, and Glowing Spear's like, oh, I'm looking for this guy named Dork, you know, have you seen him? He's pretty ugly, you know, he destroys a lot of stuff like that. And the white mage is like, oh yeah, I heard like he went like west or east or something. He fought a bunch of like nymph fairies or whatever they were, and like went on a rampage fighting these monsters. And I hear he's pretty tall and muscular and pretty handsome too. So he's kind of like throwing him off his own scent.
Yeah.
At this moment.
I heard he was short and stout.
I heard he's short and stout and ugly. That's what I kept hearing Glowing Spear says. And it's like, oh, no. Like, go that way. And we see Glowing Spear basically, he goes after him. He's like, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. And he goes to like this bar. I think it's called like the Dancing Serpent. I think that's what it was called.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And he goes there because the white mage says Dork went there for the wings. They're really, really good.
Yes. Which, the same creatures he fought it. They have the same name, but it was a particular thing. And
they were all like little fairy creatures. They all had no wings and stuff. And like Glowing Spear goes there, he's like, I'm not gonna stop. And he's like, I'm gonna stop. I can't find him. And he goes back to, like, I guess where the white mage was, maybe. I can't remember. This part was a little bit confusing, to be honest.
I just think that Glowing Spear was that fast.
He was that fast?
I think he was that fast because
Okay.
this is a part that I questioned too. I was like, Dork, you had so much time to get away from this
Yeah.
guy. And he's like, hold on, I didn't think you would be back so fast. And I was like, so that's why Glowing Spear's been able to keep up with him so much, is because like he's hoofing it like 24/7.
And Glowing Spear is like, look, I can't find them. I need some, like, basically, like, bardic inspiration almost. Like, he needs him
Yeah.
to sing him this song to, like, make him feel better or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
It was Dreamers something.
yeah, it was something. And Dork's like, oh, okay. And he starts singing this song, and this is where Glowing Spear picks up on it. He picks
Yeah,
up on
that's
it, and
like
he's like,
him.
you're not a white mage. And he goes to take off Dork's head at this point. And this is where we get the big reveal that Dork is the white mage. And, like, Glowing Spear is kind of, like, shocked and kind of baffled, it seems like that Dork would do this.
I don't know. I got a different sense, like he knew when he couldn't sing it that Dork was possibly this figure or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. I didn't really, because Glowing Spear just doesn't give off like that. Oh
Like,
my
I'm
gosh, big
stupid.
reveal. Yeah, he doesn't have like that big reveal
Okay.
feel to him ever. It
Maybe
seems
I
more like,
misread it.
it seems more so like Glowing Spear is very much like, oh, that's you. Like
Which we didn't talk about what Glowing Spear also has.
his
Which,
hammer.
no, the was it the bomb or the magical juice?
Yeah, he has the magical world ender thing that will destroy Dork.
It'll
Something like
basically,
that.
like, get somebody out of existence. Like,
Yeah, if Dork drinks a drop of it.
or if it gets put on him. Like, it'll, like, poof him away. Apparently, it'll poof anybody away who touches the stuff.
Yeah.
And at one point, the white mage or Dork is trying to get it from him, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm not going to sell this or trade this," you know. And this is like around when right before Dork uh gets found
Sends him
out,
off.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, Gloin Spear, like, goes after Dork in this situation right now. Like, it was insane. Like, to see the situation and what Gloin Spear does to Dork, I'm honestly surprised Dork was kind of still alive and, like, survived this part.
Yeah.
Where Gloin Spear just beats the ever living shit out of Dork.
Yeah. I mean, at least he's kind of sturdy.
It's true, he, like, bashes him
um
with the shield, right?
yeah.
Does he bash him
Yeah,
with the
I mean
death shield?
he
Or was it just a regular shield?
uh what Gloin Spear bashes him
Yeah.
with? No, I think he just bashes him with the hammer.
Okay. Okay.
The shield part was when he first saw him, and he goes, "Oh, well, I could sell you a dagger," and he hands it to him. He goes, "Or I could sell you a shield," and then he stabs the dagger through the shield, and he goes, "I don't need that."
Yeah.
Um,
So Shield, as Dork is getting beat to a pulp, like, Dork is on the ground, bloodied, beaten, face smashed in. Gloin Spear is like, it's my time. I'm gonna, like, uh rid you of this world, basically. And
yes.
Chicken comes in, and he's like, "Don't worry, I got this, guys.
Oh my
I
god.
got this." He's like, "Possession." Where we see Chicken try to possess Glowing Spear. And Glowing Spear is like, "Nope, not gonna happen." Because he is, like, too strong of, like, a will, I think it is.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Something like that.
Well, and I think somebody said that if a corpse has a soul already, then Chicken can't possess it.
Oh.
which didn't make sense to me because how would he have possessed the Time Lord unless it was only because he was like a corpse or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know, but it was funny to see Chicken like not succeed.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, because I think after issue 2, whenever we read that part, it almost seemed like this was going to be the Hail Mary. Like
yeah,
Chicken was going to be able to possess whoever he wanted.
yeah, it seemed like I think I kind of like it that they didn't use that as like a crutch almost
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
get out of jail free card.
I agree.
In any way. So like, there's like limits to what he can possess.
Yes,
Which
yes,
which I like. I like that he's like not all powerful.
yes.
Which the Death Shield tries to get into this as well, which does not work out so well. And we kind of get a little inkling that there is more to the Death Shield, and maybe somebody actually made him, which was like the
Yeah,
White Witch, was it?
I don't think the White Witch made it. I think somebody else had made him, but the White Witch is who they want to go, or the Silver Witch is who they want to go see for the white potion thing.
Okay, okay.
But we did learn something on the over story arc thing at the on the first page of this. Um, that they are trying to go actually past. It's in the next book in the next issue. My bad.
Oh, well, they're trying to get to the White Witch.
Well, they're trying to do
Oh,
that,
the
but
Silver Witch. Sorry.
the very first page tells you that they're trying to revive Chicken, and that Shield is trying to figure out who they were before.
Yeah,
And I didn't feel like I knew that until I read that part.
I didn't
So
either.
I don't know if I missed a part or not.
No, I think that was just put in.
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
was
that
put
was.
in and guys, it's been there the
It's
whole
been the
time.
whole
What do
time.
you mean?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
yeah. No, and
Um,
I love this part where like, so we find out that like Dork kind of gets back up, and he's like, he's like all like worse for wear, and he's like,
yes.
he's basically like, is that all you got at this point? And Glowing Spear is like, aha, I have this. And it's like the Obliterator Bomb, I think it's what it was called. Or Obliterator Potion or something like that.
Yeah, it had some kind of weird long name.
Yeah. And he's like, I got this. And he doesn't have it. And we see that Dork has this magical, like, potion thing. And he
Yeah.
basically throws it at Glowing Spear, which causes him to, like, hit him in the face. So we don't know if Glowing Spear is, like, dead or alive at this point.
Yeah. I could definitely see it as like a meta thing that uh Glowing Spear's face may be a little burned, but because he's not the dork, it only like half worked.
Yeah.
I could see some shit like that happening.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, but yeah, I mean, Dork was like, "Oh yeah, I let you basically sit there and wail on me because I was feeling around in like your loincloth or your bag or whatever to find where this thing was and pull it out."
yeah. It's funny that Gloinspear didn't even know this was happening because he was so like in the zone. It seemed like because we get this pretty awesome fight like between Dork and Gloinspear. Like I thought it was a very well done fight, and it was fun because
Yeah,
I feel like that wasn't. I didn't expect to have the old switcheroo and Dork get the potion. Like that didn't even
yeah.
cross my mind when I originally read this.
I felt like that was gonna happen, but I didn't know it was gonna happen the way that we thought it was gonna happen. Like I imagined that him still as the White Rogue was going to get away from him, and then there would probably be like a little bit of a chase scene because Glowing Spear would realize who it was, and then something would happen where that either got busted or something like that. Um, and Glowing Spear may have be like, "Oh well, I have to go back and get another one." Something like that was going to cause it to happen. Not he was going to take one point blank to the face and fall off a cliff.
Yeah, that was very unexpected. Like I think that's one thing I really like about this series, but in this issue as a whole, it turns right when I feel like it should turn left. Like it's
Yeah.
so almost unpredictable when
Yeah.
I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a breath of fresh air, and like the comedy is like on fucking point throughout this whole thing, even when we have like these pretty gnarly moments,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
violent moments. Like,
Yeah. I like I said earlier, I think that's one of the things that kind of took it away from me a little bit. Like again, they're all every issue is great so far. This is just the one that's ranked the lowest for me, and I think it is because we just focused on Gloinspear way too much.
yeah.
Because kind of with the rest of them, we've had something uncanny happen,
Mm-hmm.
and this one I think just focused on that very orderly slash chaotic stuff for Gloinspear, where he has such a will for order that it makes him a chaotic character.
It was a weird palate cleanser of a
Yeah,
story.
yeah, I would say that. Yeah,
But I
but-
still liked it. I still hold it in high regard.
yeah, but I do want to see, because I do feel like, or I do agree with you. I feel like he is going to come back at some
Yeah.
point. He's just going to be a little disfigured.
He,
Um,
he's too good of a character to not bring back.
Well, and he just hasn't been there long enough
Yeah.
to be like one of the bigger people that's supposed to be the enemy of Dork.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that really puts it into perspective of me is, if Glornspear's this way, what is Ophelia going to be on her side?
Oh, Olivia?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Olivia,
Yeah.
what's she going to be like? Is she almost going to be the polar opposite of Glornspear?
And I want to know, are we going to get her in like issue 5? Like, where are we going to see her at? Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like I didn't that was one thing I wanted to learn more about these two characters, the light character and the dark character. And I wanted to see like what they were like, and I was pleasantly surprised that we got this character. I like him, but I also hate him at the same time.
yeah,
He's a piece of shit. Um,
yeah,
and it just took me by surprise, like how well of a antagonist he is for Jorg.
yes.
And yeah, I know it makes my brain go like, where's Olivia gonna be? You know,
Yeah.
what is she gonna be like? Is she gonna be, if Gloinspear is like this, what is she like? Is she like 10 times worse?
Yeah, well, and what's her back history? Like, if
Yeah.
Gloinspear is supposedly the last guy of this thing, like,
What is
what
she
else is
like?
he
Yeah.
going to be? Which I kind of wonder if there are some foreshadowing moments in the words that he said,
Mm-hmm.
because he said something at one point that was kind of like a weird thing, that he knew the warriors of light, kind of, sorta, and then he said like the darkest rogues.
Yeah.
Kind of wondering if she will be a rogue because of what he said, and he's the warrior of light.
Interesting.
So I'm wondering if that's a little foreshadowing of things that are to come, or will there be, um, will it completely be something that you and I won't see coming at all?
I feel like we won't see it coming,
Yeah.
to be
Well,
honest.
if she's a rogue, we probably.
We will not see this coming. Whatever's gonna happen, the rug will be pulled out from under us and be like, "Hey, I got you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you." You know. But yeah. But moving on to issue number 4.
Well, one more thing, real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
We did have where Chicken basically got the shit beat out of him.
Oh yeah, his body went mushy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're joking, and they've been joking about how his body is so like zombified almost,
I love
because he can't feel it from the brain, that it survives.
I love the part where like Glowing Spear's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you now," and he's like, "What the holy hell is that?" And he just
Yes.
points the chicken's body, and Dwark is like, "That's a distraction."
Yes, yes. I loved it.
Yeah, and it
Uh
gets even crazier in the next issue.
yes, and I love that cuz it got brought back up
Yes.
like in the first page or two. About how durable chicken is, and that the bad thing is if they ever do find the silver witch to try and put chicken back together, that he won't be able to get beat, stabbed, crushed, any of this other stuff because he'll be back to his old original self. Um, go from there.
Hmm.
But going into this one, I really love the fact where we do get one of these little moments with Shield and Dork. Um, where it's after he's kind of gotten chicken like to sleep.
Well, that's in issue 4. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
oh, I really want to talk about that, but I kind of want to lead up to that.
Okay.
So we end up in some part of this adventure after issue 3. We see Dwarf, Chicken, and Shield. They're having like a little barbecue. They're probably eating some unicorn meat. We don't know yet. It looks like they're grilling hot dogs. I don't know. It kind of looks like they have wieners on a stick.
Yeah.
And they get um a what was it, a Thrawg?
Yeah.
A
Throg.
Thrawg, which looks like a three-headed
No,
uh
no, you're right. You're right. It's a three-headed
it's
dog.
a three-headed dog, which looks like a three-headed chihuahua.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
best way I can describe it. And it gets the jump on them at this point. And they're like, "Oh my god, please don't eat me!" Like, and Chicken and Shield try to pipe up, like maybe tell him to sit, and Dork's like, "I don't think that's gonna help. You guys are useless. I don't want to get into a fight right now." But he ends up getting into a fight with this Throg, you know,
Yes.
and it's pretty crazy. Like they do end up getting away from this dog at this point, which they
Oh
find
my
out that
gosh.
Throg saliva is flammable,
Yes.
which I thought that was really funny. When we get into that later, that's even more hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and I like it in this part where he ends up like hitting it or something and it falls over. And imagine like one of they're not exactly chihuahuas, but the dogs that you see in shows where they're just continuously drooling. That's
uh,
kind of what this Throg looks like. Like
yeah,
he is continuously drooling. And when Dork kind of trips it over, one of the heads ends up falling into the fire that they have.
yeah,
And that's where we find out that the saliva, like you said, is all flammable. And it just goes foop all over the head of this thing as it runs off, like leading a trail of fire away.
yeah. And they eventually do like get away, and they're kind of walking through the forest. And Chicken's like, "Man, this forest smells like wet dog or whatever." And I love this part where Chicken kind of has like an existential crisis almost,
Yeah,
where he's like, "Wait, do ghosts and disembodied bodies smell? Am I just thinking this up or making this up in my head? What's happening? What's going on?" And this is where we see like Chicken kind of, I don't know if he passes out or he just falls asleep.
I think he falls asleep.
I wasn't 100% sure like what happened exactly.
But it was almost like Dork was involved, so it was almost kind of like he did this whole like a parent putting a child to bed kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you have Chicken in his body laying there, and then you have Chicken's ghost head floating like above where the pillow thing would be.
I guess ghosts do sleep.
I guess that was one of the funny things is you just see the head like laying in the air like a foot above the body, and it's shoo, shoo.
Yeah, and this is where we get like probably one of the best scenes I think so far in this series. I feel like
Yeah,
one of the more powerful emotional scenes, I would say. And you want to get into this? Talk about it.
yeah. So it's where we have Dork and Shield talking about the stuff, and it really gives me that big superhero
Yeah,
mentality.
yeah,
Um, because Dork starts talking about why he's so tired, and Shield's kind of like, well, why don't you get some sleep too? he goes, I haven't slept since I realized what I did to chicken,
Mm-hmm.
which was when he berserked out and he threw the shield and basically beheaded chicken, um, and killed him essentially.
Yeah.
Um, so it's one of those things like he tells you kind of like one of the Superman things like I can't ever let myself get out of control. And he brings it up like I think he brings it up a little bit in issue 3 and moving
I
forward
think
with
so.
issue
He
4.
brings it up a little bit.
Yeah. About really keeping your control. You don't want to basically like freak out because then that's when a lot of extra shit happens and innocent people end up getting killed.
Yeah, it's very much like, I hate to say this, but like anybody dealing with anger issues, I feel like this is a very good representation of
Yeah.
kind of that almost, like being in control of your emotions, knowing like the impact you have on like a situation and stuff like that. Like it's a really interesting look at like the hero complex, I would say,
Yeah. Yeah.
almost in a sense, which I really like this scene a lot. Like
Yeah.
this scene really got to me. Even I would say it could be possible for like almost like dealing with depression almost. I would
I
say,
agree. I
like
agree.
that almost, and stuff like that. Dealing with your life, and life is really hard. How do you deal with it? Like in different ways, and like Shield kind of pipes up, and he's like, "Look, like life's hard. Like life's hard for everybody." And
Yeah.
he said something very specific to where like in the light and the dark, like neither of them can be like the bad guys in their own stories. You have to
Yeah,
be
something like
that
that.
bad guy. And what little things you do here and there might not mean something at that time, but in the long run it will mean like the world basically. Like your little things that you do in this fucked up world will change the world in ways like you will not even know.
Yeah. Well,
Which,
and just also being true to
yeah,
yourself, Like if it brings Shield telling Dork like if it brings you enjoyment, then continue doing it.
yeah,
If bringing a murder hobo was what Dwark liked, Shield would totally fucking get behind that. But it's
yeah,
not that it's not. It's being his authentic self, which this rolls into another thing that I like because we do have where Dork falls asleep. And I love how when we do have a serious moment in Dork, that it also flips over on its head where we do have a slapstick thing that comes out of it.
yes, yes,
And we have where Shield tells Dork, "Hey, I'll watch. Don't worry about it." And the next day, Dork wakes up to, I think they called them
no,
elves,
they're goblins.
goblins. That's
Yeah,
right.
they're goblins.
They have goblins that have now found him, and he's like, "I thought you said you were going to watch." He goes, "They snuck up on me. I don't have
Yeah, I
ears."
don't have ears. And we see, I forget what their names are. They're two
The
main
they were
goblins.
they were very close alike.
It's
I think one of them was Cragnog and the other one was Bragnog.
okay, yeah, Cragnog is the one that we see first. And she is like, "Are you with Bragnog?" And
No, no, she's
oh, she's
Bragnog.
Bragnog.
She asked about Cragnog.
Okay, yeah, she's the one we meet is Bragnog. Sorry, I got them
Yeah, yeah,
confused a little bit.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so we meet Bragnog and her group, which they're a group of goblins, and there we find out that there's two sects of goblins in two different villages, basically,
No,
and
no, they're the same.
they're the same village. Okay,
It's one village that is one big group of family. They're all the same, but they have a difference. So these, I guess they would almost be like night goblins.
uh huh.
end up having where one of them has laid claim to the land to hunt the Thrawg, and the other one was the first one that the village that the Throg attacked first, and he also peed on the ground to mark his territory to go get the Throg. And so they're fighting over essentially just the territory of who gets to hunt the Throg
and eat it.
And eat it. And her group has green handprints on their heads, and his have red handprints on them.
I gotta be honest, I was slightly confused when I read this the first time.
Yeah.
And you explaining it to me kind of cleared things up.
Oh, yeah, because when they're both sitting there like dweebs and whatever, and are you with Cragnog? And I'm like, okay, so we're looking for a Cragnog, and she goes, "That's my brother," and I'm like, oh, okay, so her brother is Cragnog.
I love
Got
this.
it.
I love this part where like she's talking to Dork, and she's like, "Are you with Cragnog?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know Cragnog. Do you like him? Like, if not, like,
He's my brother.
If not, I'm with you. I hate Cragnog." And she's like, "He's my brother."
Oh, I love Cragnog.
I love Cragnog, and he gets thrown through the woods.
And she goes, "I hate him."
He gets thrown like all the way through the woods, and he ends up in like Cragnog's territory, or Bragnog's territory. Sorry,
yeah, no, Cragnog.
Cragnog's territory, and
yeah. He just flies through the woods. I don't know. I'd say he probably flew through the woods like maybe 50 feet.
Maybe it was pretty funny. I wasn't expecting that.
And then Cragnog comes out. "Are you on Bragnog's side?" And you're like,
if he's like, "If any other door touches me one more time, I'm gonna kill him."
Yes.
And
it ends up turning way too much into a big slapstick, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, no, I am here for it too. Like, it's really funny. It's almost like Looney Tune-esque, I would say.
It is.
Especially with like the last issue and this issue. Like in the last issue, I got very remnants of like Bugs Bunny and like Elmer Fudd or something like that,
I agree, yeah.
But this one's really funny because they both essentially want the same thing, kind of.
Yes. And but they're too dumb to realize it.
Yeah, they're too dumb, inbred, color-coded, whatever. Dork calls them a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're color-coded because of the handprints.
Yeah, and they really want this Thrawg, and then we see probably one of my favorite new characters, Barry, their cousin Barry.
Yeah,
where he's like, ooh, me. And he pops up and he's like, guys, the Thrawg is over there. And the Thrawg just wrecks shop at this point.
Oh my gosh, right.
It eats.
Well, and I love where we get the little split scenes where it's both of the brother and sister being like, "Oh, I can go get this guy," chomp, and it's just their arm. And then the other one says something, chomp, and then his arm is just, and this thing just, like you said, a wreck shop.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
We only have two people left at the end, which is Barry and
Dork. Yeah, and Barry gets eaten too. And Dork is like, no, my buddy Barry is not going to get eaten. So he picks up these two rocks, and you're like, what the fuck is he going to do with these rocks? And I didn't notice it at first. I didn't notice that Dork let himself get eaten. By the Thrawg.
He let himself. I think he had flint.
It wasn't flint? Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I think he found 2 rocks of flint and lets himself get eaten.
Yeah, and so we see this Thrawg rush off. Chicken and Shield are trying to catch up, but they can't. And out of nowhere...
Oh my god, wait. Okay. Before you say that, we have to talk about Chicken. Imagine it. Ghost Head Chicken is going off in the direction. And Shield is rolling with a rope tied around like his handhold on the back with Chicken's body tied to this rope. And as I'm like watching this part and they're trying to like catch up and that happens, you get where the body is, I was like, oh God.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very glad that Chicken is durable right now, because just imagining if you were holding on to that, like people that go like water skiing or whatever.
Yeah.
Imagine skiing on rock and your board comes out and you just get dragged. That to me is Chicken's body at the current moment.
Yeah. Which is really funny. It's a really funny scene. Because you think
I feel like it comes out of nowhere.
it does come out of nowhere, very much so. Especially with the scene that comes next, where
Yeah.
the Thrawg is running away, and then the Thrawg blows up. We get a 2-page spread of the Thrawg blowing up, and we see Dwarf in the middle, and he has his little 2 rocks that he hit together or whatever, and he blows up the dog.
Yeah.
He blows up the dog, and the only 2 people who are left are Barry and Dwarf.
Oh my God. On this part, did you think? I was like, oh my God, Dork is going to get out because he's got the dwarven resilience or the dwarven endurance, basically. But I was like, if we get done with this and the Throg blows up, because like you kind of know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, when he's done, I was sitting there reading it, and I'm like, I hope that Barry survives.
Yes.
Because I was completely going to be like, oh my God, he's going to do that and Barry is going to die.
Yeah, no.
I was going to be so upset.
I feared the worst, and I thought Barry was definitely going to die at this point.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think Barry was durable enough. He's this a vulnerable goblin who is too good for this world.
Yes.
And luckily he is saved, and I thought he was going to go with Dork. Like, I thought he was going to be like their next companion.
I was unsure. I didn't want him to go with them because I know how fucked up things will be. And I was going to be like, well, I'm sure he'll die early. But will it be something that happens with the shield and we'll get like a ghost berry?
Yeah.
Obviously not, but we do find out some of this family history. Barry was never worried about the Thrawg per se. I mean, taking care of it, yes. But Barry was never worried about it in the sense that these cousins were. Because Barry was like, oh, I just want to kind of rebuild the village.
Yeah.
And the thing that was holding them back was because of this kind of sibling rivalry of who is going to take this thing out, which I do agree with you. I think at one point they did argue that they had separate villages, but I really think it was the same village in the same town.
Probably was.
Maybe just,
I don't remember.
Opposite sides.
Yeah, I read it as 2 different villages, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Well, I did it too.
Yeah.
That's why. But I was like, when Barry said at the end, I kind of am like, is it more so the same village, but on this side, this is who owns it, and on this side, this is who owns it? Kind of one of those things. Like, it's the same place, but they drew a line down the middle, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Dork gets sent on to the next location that he's actually looking for,
which is the Silver Witch.
Yeah, and she's supposed to be at this location. So
yeah. I am looking forward. Like, we kind of skipped over some jokes and stuff like that, but I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. I hope we get to see Barry again. I hope Barry pops back up.
Yeah.
I like the little running joke of Barry always raising his hand to talk.
Yeah.
He was like, Barry. Mr. Dork.
Well, and I love the thing too, just touching on one of the jokes where Dork's like, Barry, you don't have to raise your hand. We've both been inside of a Thrawg.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, this episode was fun. It was action packed, just like the last episode. Like the it kept on going. Like both issues just
Yes,
kept on going, and they were very quick reads. But
I agree. It did feel like they were a lot quicker.
I feel like it was like the pacing of it kind of felt like it got a little under its feet, and it's
Yeah.
starting to move somewhere. I feel like
Yes.
story
Yes.
wise.
This one really made me think about the Time Lord one,
Yeah,
which was issue 2. Um and that one was a fun adventure as well. So I do like how we are getting to explore the world a little more. And so I kind of wonder how things will work out with pacing. Um
yeah,
what parts will focus on the light and dark side trying to get at Dork, because he did mention that.
yeah,
Um, but what other ones will we have that are these little weird adventures that will have extra stuff to them um, from there? Because I mean, there's so much different things that you could pull on with some of it. I'm not, besides going to the witch's hut or whatever, I'm not ever sure where Dork's really going.
yeah. I don't really know at this point, but I feel like we'll learn after. I would say after next issue, if he doesn't get to the witch's hut, then I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
where
if
he's
the
going.
witch's hut isn't the next issue, I'll be so
I
confused.
know, I know. Yeah, no, I have no idea where he's going, but like I'm on along for the ride. I feel like he's just trying to like maybe get back to his house. I don't know, or his original plan was get back to his house.
Does he even have a
I don't
house?
know.
I do have one thing to ask you though.
Uh huh.
Glowing Spear got this thing from the Silver Witch, but do you think that the Silver Witch is innately evil, like on part of the dark
Ooh.
side?
What if she's like in the middle? What if She,
I don't know because he doesn't believe in that.
oh, maybe I don't know.
So that's one of the things that really throws me off on the whole thing with Glowing Spear, is that she is a witch, and we did kind of get, I think if you went past the chapters a little bit, we got like a little bit of an image of her somewhat covered up,
Yeah,
like a little bit of a picture.
yeah,
And she does look more of like a shamany character, if that's the same one. Um and so that's kind of what I want to know, like, is she innately evil? Because this territory we were kind of in, like, these are night goblins that we kind of saw, like,
yeah. I
where exactly did he go to get this thing? And if so, why is he accepting, why did Glowing Spear accept getting work from like the evil side almost?
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at where exactly they're going to,
Yeah.
and then look at the map
Oh
because
my gosh. The map.
I didn't look at the map.
There's too much stuff on the map.
No, I think it's fine. It's fine for what it is. No, but this one was a lot of fun. Like, if you're not reading this, like, you're missing out. Especially if you like fantasy and stuff like that. Like, fucking, fucking 10 out of 10. I feel like
The everything so far.
everything so far. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, not a bad issue, and I feel like that's rare in comics nowadays.
I do too, because I feel like most things have been touched on,
Yeah,
and I think we both kind of keep coming back to the same thing. Like, Bone is probably the closest thing that this seems like, but then at the same time, like, it stands out from Bone.
yeah, yeah. There's another one that people kept recommending called like Twig that had similar vibes to Dwarf. So we'll have to check that out one day.
Yeah.
It's about a little blue
One
guy.
day. It's
Uh,
a blue
yeah,
guy?
it's a little blue guy. He has like a plant growing out of his head or something.
Okay.
Yeah, they all say it's like bone slash dork feels. I don't know if that's the comedy aspect or what exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like solid issues. Like I feel like we're doing it a little bit of a disservice, like trying to explain this and what's happening because there's so much that's going on. but it's not like over explaining anything. Like he gets in
Yeah.
and gets out. Like there's not a lot of big info dumps. You know, with
No. I mean, there you do have info dumps, but it's like the right amount.
yeah, it's the right amount. Like everything is like down to a T, like paced out
It's
so
the
well.
it's the perfect barbecue
Perfect
sauce.
barbecue sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree with you too in that aspect. Like, I would say try and pick up this issue or find somewhere to read it or something like that. Um, because we can try and describe what all is going on, but really the background art is part of the things that make
Yeah,
this. Like
the art on point.
when we tell you like, hey, this Throg blew up, like
It blew up.
you hear that it blew up,
Yeah, it
but
blew up and
you actually have to see it.
it blew up and there were like pieces everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
The carnage was crazy.
Which nobody got any of the meat. So
Nobody got any of the meat. They just got covered in Throg juice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But Jan, where can they find you at?
You can find me at Bard's Tavern on Instagram. You can also find me eventually on YouTube. You can also find me again. I'm trying to get it worked out on Manga Restart. Um, Eventually, that will be back on YouTube as well. As we go through probably more manga related content because I need a reason to get through my TBR. Um, of course, you can find me everywhere that Otakuology is. Am I running the spiel for you too?
No, I got this. Oh, and make sure to rate and review our podcast and tell your friends, and hit us up and let's chit chat about this stuff. We're on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, all major podcast platforms. You can find me at the Otaku Mike, where I talk all about comic books and stuff like that and other geeky stuff. I just celebrated 8 years of YouTube, which is very surprising to think
Fuck
about.
yeah.
Yeah. I did a little video for that. Um, People seem to like it, which I'm surprised, to be honest.
You're like, you guys like this Otaku manga? This is very questionable.
But yeah,
Yeah. And I would also say to check out right now we are also covering Tales from 85, the Stranger Things animated series, which I think we're both having fun with as well.
yeah.
And at some point we will start trying to fill in blanks, which I don't know if we'll do it on the next one or not. But we will start also trying to cover like the Burrows,
Yeah.
which is also the other Stranger Things since it comes out, I believe, tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I gotta go look this up.
But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. As always, we love the people that support
Oh
us
no,
and do
most
everything
definitely. Most
and
definitely.
follow us on Instagram and YouTube, and want to ask us questions and have questions that pop up on the podcast, or even if you want to message us about a collaboration because you do some of the same shit that we do. Um, Thanks for always being there and listening. We love you guys, and see you next Tuesday.